G'day guys. Obviously, I'm a little bit happy. It's very early in the morning, as per the bags under my eyes. It's been a massive week of early starts and late finishes on the fish room. Just trying to knuckle down and get some stuff done. A massive week ahead of me. I've got Chris Lurkhelp coming over. He's going to be speaking for the Aquarium Society of Victoria. So in the precursor to that, I'm actually picking him up from the airport. We're heading out to Ewan's Ponds, which is just over the border in South Australia. Beautiful clear water environment, which he wanted to visit whilst he was here. And I'm going with him. We're going to do a bit of snorkeling and in the freezing temperatures, but that's what he wants, that's what he gets. And then we'll be doing a few rounds of local fish shops and as such in Victoria. In any case, the fish room is all but finished as far as the construction phase, and I'm very much looking forward to putting some racks and some fish in. But without going into too much detail, because I want to get this video out to you, obviously I won't be posting anything up other than maybe stuff with Chris in the next week. So let's have a look at the fish room and I'll explain the small jobs that are left, and you'll get to see why I'm excited. Thanks for watching, guys.
All right, so before we go inside, shoes off, you dirty varmint. It's probably going to be echoey in here, so if it is, because there's nothing internal, I apologise. But look at my floor. Wait for the lights. Oh, boom. A bit windy outside now. Here we are. Fish room 3.0. Now I'm really hoping that this isn't too echoey for the video, but as you can see, we've got 9 metres in length, 4.5 metres virtually in width. There's my sliding door in place. The head unit for my split. Power points everywhere, guys. As we know in fish rooms, you can never have enough power. And the reason I've put those in, well, obviously there's going to be a power point either side of what will be a bench here. Brine shrimp area, water, all that sort of stuff. Obviously you never know what you need where your workbench is, so a little bit of power there. But the power points are mainly due to the need for heating individual tanks. If I've got anything specific, any species specific, I'll be able to put a standalone heater into their tank. So stoked, guys. I'm so stoked. So, if I don't move too quick, sliding door that goes straight through to what is the old fish room door. Modified a Bunnings barn door, sliding door setup to fit the 50mm panel. Holds nicely, and that's what those washers are, just to take some of the load through the wall, because obviously, I say obviously all the time, folks, apologies for that, because the wall does not have much in the way of support system internal, so that the bolts and the washers spread the load, and given it's a polystyrene filled sliding door, there's not much weight, so come up very well, very happy with it. Still have to seal the base of it. I've got the rubber for that. I'm going to put a seal on both sides of the door so as it slides through, it doesn't catch up. The sides are sealed. I just have to level it a little bit with the adjustments. You can see here, there's a little bit down, and a little bit on the other side. It's literally 2mm, and I'm not overly concerned by it, to be fair. Aside from that, I still need to go around and silicone the gaps. I say gaps, they're not really gaps. I want to silicone these. just to trap any humidity. The roof is done, but I just want to help seal the humidity in. For example, this joint is done, and you can't really see it, but it's going to stop heat transfer. And as I say, I don't want water or the humidity getting inside the sheets. Oh, that door's loud. Swinging in the wind. Also want to put a bead of silicone right around the base between that aluminium strip and the floor. As you can see, where the epoxy paint went up to, and my taping skills let me down, only in this spot at the back. Yeah, again, if I put a bead of silicone and a decent bead, if I have any tank failures or alike, the water must come into the room and not go underneath the wall and into the wall cavity. That's the intention. All of these locations here at the floor, where I suppose the join or the expansion join for the concrete reaches, I've pumped silicone into those holes again to force the water to come down the expansion join and to the drain in the floor. Don't really want water getting in between the walls. There will be condensation from the shed itself, but I'll be able to monitor that, and my intentions are to put a roof vent in to help negate that fact. But this floor is going to save me a lot of heartache with vacuuming or keeping the dust out of the room. We all know how fish rooms get so dirty. All right, now, thought processes. And I'd like your help on this, because you've got a week to comment, if you can, on your thoughts. I want to give a shout out to Fat Glenn's Fish Room. He's down in Tasmania, so he's dealing with similar environmental factors as me. And he has his air blower, and I'm not using a diaphragm pump, I'm using an air blower, which is commonly used in more wholesale environments, high volumes of air, not under as much pressure, but high volumes. Glenn has his blower in his fish room, and I think I'm going to copy him. It does have a bit of a high-pitched whir, but it makes so much more sense to take the already warm air that's in your fish room and pump it into the tanks, as opposed to taking external cold air and pumping that into the tanks. It will clearly cool your water column by taking that external air. So, I have my 3-stage water filter. I just got to get some new cartridges for that. I was going to stick, let me back up a little bit, I was going to put a water tank, a long, tall, narrow water tank here in this corner, for the purposes of RO water. However, my thoughts have transpired in that it may well be better served to put it up the front corner and run water from this spigot here after treatment. Obviously, it's only going to be in that micro hose. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. It'll run across the room and fill up the tank, maybe in that front corner, just due to the fact that if it's not doing what I think it should do, I can get it out the doors. If I put it back here in the corner, I kind of trapped it in the fish room forever, because once the fish racks go in, my intentions are a whole wall here of 4 foot, so 120 centimetres by 45 centimetre tanks as grow outs. So that'll be a whole wall there. I think there's 12 of them total. So 3 rows high. Through the centre, 2 rows of tanks back to back, and on the side a whole wall of species tanks. I'm intending it to be basically like my 2-foot wall. I have a lot of 2-foot tanks in the current fish room, and my thought process is that I will be, I suppose, spinning them around or doing something similar and having them here just specifically for individual species. Anyway, water in and air is going to literally loop the whole room, Water will loop the whole room. So I'm going to have air come in. I'm likely going to mount the air pump up in this corner, and air will travel around the room in a complete loop in 40mm pipe. Also, I'll tee it off here at 2 sections and run air directly through the middle to complete the loop at the other end, which will be teed also. So there's, in theory, 2 main loops of air. The air will drop down to the locations of the tank via 20mm pipe. So at junctions, it'll come down and then run along each row of tanks. Given that it's an air blower and they act on volume, I have to use 40mm pipe for the main loop and then branch into 20mm pipe. I've seen other fish rooms enact that and it's worked for them. So work for them, work for me. I need to run a drain. So basically from where my intended area is here for the racks to start, maybe off that first power point down, I'm going to run drainage along the walls. It's likely going to come to a center point over here, come towards this drain. And from this side, similar deal, along, down, and to this drain. So when the water changes are occurring by dilution, water can just overflow and run into those locations. If I'm doing water changes of significance, I'm likely going to do it in a different fashion. All right. What do you think? Another job that's remaining, as I said, those 2 doors outside will be hinged onto here in the internal door frame. Now that I've adjusted the height of the external door, the door's going to open outward, not taking up any more of the room not swinging into the room and taking up valuable floor space. So using the powers of AI, Brett's imagination, that's what it should be called, BI, row of tanks, 2 rows of tanks, 3 rows of tanks, maybe even on this wall, I might do a narrow row of tanks for like a fry run, might be too much. Possible location for water tank. Tanks. Storage up above. I'm even going to put a shelf across the top of the door to make room for storage of things. Shelves above a bench, stainless steel bench with a sink. The sink will run into the drain. I have water at the ready. Probably going to get a small electric hot water service just to have hot water here at the sink for anything I need for diluting or dissolving of salts or things like that, or any emergency triages of fish to get the temperature of water up. But anyway, tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm going about the design wrong. Should I be running tanks across the room? with one common access. Should I walk in from the door here and go row, 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 or maintain the length? I'd really love your thoughts on the room, guys, if you can. So, what did you think? It's been a lot of work, I'm telling you, but we're getting there. We're really getting there, as close to finished as I can give you at this point in time. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of content. I'd really love to know what you think down below. If you've got any better ideas for me, please let me know. I don't want to dive in. As soon as I put racks in and my water and my drains, I am pretty much committed to that for the rest of my life. So if you've got a better idea, you think I should arrange the racks differently for any reason, please let me know down below. While you're down below, please give me a like and a subscribe and watch this room unfold before your eyes. Going to fill up very quickly with tanks. I've got to move fish out of my old fish room into this one really quickly, but after Chris's visit next week. Hope you're having a cracking day. Get down to your local fish clubs, join the social aspect in person, not online, and enjoy the hobby. It's a cracker. See you soon.
Oh, it looks so cold.
It does look so cold. Floating pot, but look how clear it is.